On the 3rd anniversary of our marriage, Sam didn't come home. Instead, he was caught in the news spending the night with a popular young actress. The next day, I wanted an explanation from him. He said, "She just looks so much like my first love." I couldn't resist. "It's no big deal, just a bit of fun." I initiated the divorce. He said, "Why make such a big deal out of it?" I smiled and replied, "My first love came to find me too, and I couldn't resist." Chapter 1. I waited for Sam all night in the villa, but he never came home. Instead, I was met with the latest entertainment news. The president of the Lou Group was seen entering a hotel with the popular actress Diana. In the photos, they were intimately holding each other. The media then released a video. Paparazzi caught them in the parking lot. Diana noticed the camera but didn't shy away. Instead, she got out of the passenger seat, ran to the other side, and tightly hugged Shaptaram. They passionately kissed. I sat on the couch at home, looking at the cake not far away. Today was our 3rd wedding anniversary. I threw the cake into the trash and turned to go upstairs. Sam came back the next morning, still smelling of women's perfume. He walked over as if nothing had happened and tried to hug me, but I dodged him. "Explain this." I placed my phone on the table. Sam glanced at it briefly and said indifferently, "The media is just making things up. It's nothing to worry about. I'm not blind." Hearing this, Sam clicked his tongue impatiently. "She just looks so much like my first love." I couldn't resist. "It's no big deal, just a bit of fun." As he said this, he noticed the cake in the trash can. Yesterday, he suddenly realized, looking slightly stunned. "I'm sorry, honey. I've been so busy lately that I forgot about this. It's my fault. Let me make it up to you." He hurriedly took out a bank card from his wallet and placed it in my hand. "Whatever you want, I can give it to you." "Then how about we go on a trip? Where do you want to go? Europe or anything I want?" I took out the documents I had prepared last night and placed them on the table. "I want you to sign here." Sam's smile disappeared instantly when he saw the divorce agreement. "What does this mean?" "It was just a bit of fun. No need to make such a big deal out of it. He can have an affair, and it's just fun. But if I bring up divorce, it's making a big deal out of it." How did I not notice before how double-standard he was? "If you have any issues with the division of property, you can talk to my lawyer. You like the woman outside. You can marry her soon. You're serious." Sam's eyes turned cold as he picked up the divorce agreement and tore it to pieces. "Are you still dreaming? What good will divorcing me do for you? I can always print another copy. As for benefits, there are many. After all." I paused for a moment, meeting his gaze, and then chuckled. "My first love came to find me too, and I couldn't resist." Chapter 2. The news about Sam vanished from the internet in less than 24 hours. Sam contacted his assistant in front of me, instructing them to handle the news. This obvious cover-up made my head ache. "This house is my premarital property, so please move out within 3 days. Sign the divorce agreement quickly. Don't delay my search for the next one." As I stood to leave, Sam anxiously grabbed me. "You're not joking, are you? Can divorce be a joke?" Through Sam's face, I suddenly saw a boy from many years ago. Back then, he also held my hand and said, "Can breaking up be a joke? I don't want to break up with you, and you can't just talk about breaking up." Disgusting. That boy happened to be Sam many years ago. I shook off his hand and went upstairs, leaving Sam downstairs smashing cups. That night, he went to see Diana again. For some reason, Diana even posted on Weibo a photo of her with a large bouquet of roses. Even though many people in the comments called her a homewrecker, she didn't care. After all, what female star has a status more valuable than being Sam's wife? I left a comment below. "If you like this filthy thing, keep it. I don't want it." Soon, the Liu family's group chat exploded. Sam's second aunt was the first to speak up. "Vicky, don't be so petty. That woman is just provoking you. Don't let people laugh at you." Sam's cousin followed quickly. "That's right, Vicky. Diana can't surpass you. Don't take it to heart." There were many more similar comments. I leisurely soaked in the massage tub, replying to each one, "Really? Second aunt?" I saw second uncle picking up a little boy from kindergarten last week. When did second aunt have a child this old? Why didn't you say anything? You really know how to keep calm. Cousin, you're right. Diana can't surpass me. But she's already surpassed you before. Cousin-in-law wanted an $8 million investment. Sam didn't agree, but he turned around and bought Diana a $9 million necklace at an auction. I revealed all kinds of gossip and scandals. One by one, the group chat became lively, filled with all sorts of curses. The usually hypocritical and harmonious family atmosphere was finally broken by me. By the end of the night, there were already hundreds of angry messages. Third aunt was still cursing the second aunt's ancestors because of the affair between the second aunt's sister and third uncle. The maid brought my breakfast to my room and told me that Sam was back but was stopped outside the door. Because I had changed the door code last night. Tell him that his things have been sent to his villa in the south of the city. Please sign the divorce agreement as soon as possible. I spent the whole night packing Sam's things. Besides his clothes and daily necessities, there were more of the gifts we had exchanged. The first gift Sam gave me was a necklace worth over $20,000. Such a necklace would never appear in my jewelry box, but it was the gift he gave me after working part-time for more than half a year to catch up with my birthday. His parents died early, and he was ostracized at home. Even if the Liu family had money, none of it was his. After we got together, Sam recorded my birthday in his phone and then did various part-time jobs. He tutored, sold second-hand goods, and wrote event plans. In the month before my birthday, I noticed he had visibly lost a lot of weight. To this day, I still remember the sunset that day. The boy, with stars in his eyes, asked me to close my eyes and hold out my hand, then carefully placed the gift in my hand. I'm sorry. I can't buy you a very expensive gift now, but I will work hard. Sam did keep his promise, and the gifts he gave me became more and more expensive, but also more convenient. From initially making dozens of plans and asking countless people for advice to now just informing his assistant to buy the latest from a luxury store. Oh, no, it has now reversed. His assistant needs to remind him. Otherwise, he will forget my birthday. The special day reminder in the phone calendar had quietly stopped. Not knowing in which year, not long after the maid left, I received a call from Diana. Hello, Miss Yi, this is Diana. No need to introduce yourself. I've already had someone investigate you. Now I even know the name of the cat your grandmother raises in your hometown. Diana fell silent on the other end of the line. Why did you call? I just wanted to explain that Mr. Liu and I have nothing. Although Mr. Liu has always been very kind to me, I'm still a self-respecting person. Were you discussing poetry and philosophy in the hotel? Sam always used the old method, letting his mistress call to clear things up, and then he would say, "See, we really have nothing." But he didn't know. Each of his mistresses would always say a few more words, to show their special relationship. Enough. I'll say it again. If you like the trash, take it. I don't want it. But there are many people competing with you for the trash. Let me see. Actress Flora. Pianist Mary. There are many. Take care of yourself. Chapter 3. I kicked Sam out of the villa, sending a divorce agreement to his house every day. I also continuously bought trending topics about his scandal on the internet. Within a week, Sam's affair was known to everyone, each time with a different woman. Of course, he knew it was my doing. Considering my family owned the largest media company in the country, I was well versed in manipulating public opinion. Finally, Sam's grandfather couldn't stand it anymore and called me back to the family home. First, he scolded Sam, putting on a show of wanting to bring out the family rules, only to be stopped by the butler. Throughout, I leisurely sat on the sofa, drinking coffee, my expression unchanged. When the act could no longer be maintained, Sam's grandfather sat beside me, showing a kindly face again. Vicky, no matter what, you two are still husband and wife, right? I've disciplined Sam this time, so let it go. He played the good cop, while Sam's grandmother started playing the bad cop. Men just fool around sometimes. You should be more generous. No wonder Sam has so many uncles. Grandma, you're really generous. Sam's grandmother turned pale with anger, clutching her chest and breathing deeply. I finished my coffee and gently placed the cup back on the table, saying, "I can forgive Sam." Everyone's eyes instantly focused on me, and Sam quickly walked up to me. "Honey, I knew you couldn't bear to divorce me." Before he could finish, I interrupted. "But I'm a pragmatic person. I believe in a simple method to keep a man from cheating. He should castrate himself. If he cuts it off, I'll believe him." Everyone's faces changed instantly. Sam's grandfather shook with rage. "Do you want the Liu family to end with no descendants? You've been married for 3 years without having children, and I haven't blamed you for being a barren hen. How dare you treat my grandson like this?" I clenched my fists, tired of listening to their nonsense, and stood up. "It's fine. I can't have children, but someone else can. Sign the divorce agreement quickly, or we'll go to court." As I left the family home, I could still hear Sam shouting, cursing that I would regret it. Sure enough, a few days later, the signed divorce agreement arrived. It wasn't because Sam had a change of heart, but because Diana was pregnant. At an event, the usually glamorous Diana wore flat shoes on the red carpet and even covered her mouth and gagged in front of all the cameras. Finally, the host asked her with concern if she was feeling unwell. Diana, facing the cameras, placed her hand on her abdomen and said softly, "Actually, it's because I'm pregnant." Chapter 4. When the news broke, the internet exploded. No matter how much people criticized her, Diana remained fearless, even posting a photo of a positive pregnancy test online, as if afraid I hadn't seen it. She even sent me a message. "Sorry, Miss Yi, this time I won. Please step aside." Looking at her message and the signed divorce agreement in my hand, I almost laughed out loud. Divorce actually made things easier for me. I wouldn't have to bear any collateral responsibilities. I had to admit, Diana was quite useful, hitting every target I pointed her to. Since the showdown, she had been frequently provoking me. I initially wanted to block her, but a friend in the hospital told me Diana visited the obstetrics and gynecology department. So I immediately responded to Diana. "So what? Can you get Sam to divorce me and marry you?" She quickly replied, "What if I'm pregnant? Does Sam dare to admit it?" No matter how much fun he had, Sam wouldn't risk the company's image by having an illegitimate child. The most likely outcome for the child would be Sam quietly getting rid of it. So, provoked by me, Diana announced it to the media directly. I didn't care how she pacified the enraged Sam afterward. I already had what I wanted. Sam's scandal became a hot topic online, and he was labeled a scumbag. Even the company's stock took a slight hit for a few days. I had my best friend accompany me to the hospital for a checkup. When the report came, my friend carefully reviewed it multiple times. No cancer or anything, right? No problems with the heart, liver, spleen, lungs, or kidneys. "Can't you stand to see me well?" I snatched the report back, and my friend scratched her head awkwardly. "You got divorced, and now you're at the hospital." I was worried. In novels, the heroine finds out she has cancer after being hurt by the hero and spends her last days teaching him what love is, and then the hero lives in regret for the rest of his life. My friend nodded, earning a roll of my eyes. Even his parents couldn't teach him. I certainly can't. If I'm dying, I'll drag him down with me. What are psychological scars compared to real losses? All the emptiness and loneliness are filled with money, so it's more practical to make him lose something tangible. I linked arms with my friend, waiting for the elevator. When the doors opened, there stood Sam and Diana, arm in arm. Diana instinctively covered her belly and hid behind Sam as they walked out together. Sam looked me up and down. "Why are you at the hospital? Is something wrong with your health? Could it be that after leaving me?" "Indeed, there is a problem." I shoved the medical report into his hands. "I checked. My health is fine. We don't smoke or drink excessively. We've been married for 3 years without any protection, but still no children. So, guess where the problem lies?" Sam froze, silent for a long time, then turned to glare at Diana with a deadly look. "You actually, no, it's not what you think. Mr. Liu, let me explain." Before Diana could finish, Sam slapped her hard across the face. "You dare cheat on me, you slut!" His angry shouts and her screams drew everyone's attention. We were in the obstetrics and gynecology department, and many newborns started crying at the noise. The scene became chaotic. Medical staff came to intervene, and in his rage, Sam lashed out indiscriminately. I looked at the person I had arranged in the distance. He held a miniature camera, recording everything clearly. Chapter 5. It didn't take long for the news of Sam assaulting medical staff in the hospital to flood the internet. I spent money buying trending topics, and Sam's image shifted from a philandering husband to a complete scumbag. Sam couldn't focus on anything else and called me multiple times, insisting I get another checkup. Why should I get checked? You're the one playing dad, not me. You can go yourself, but remember to choose a different hospital. The last one might not welcome you. I heard the sound of glass breaking on the other end, and Sam angrily hung up. Sam eventually paid a hefty sum to the medical staff, and the matter was finally settled. But from then on, I never saw anything about Diana online again. Even her online accounts were deactivated. At the end of the month, I attended a charity gala. These galas were essentially networking events where people introduced their connections. I accompanied my parents, but they soon went off to mingle, finding a corner to rest. I observed the crowd and suddenly noticed Sam, among a group of middle-aged men with receding hairlines and beer bellies. Sam's tall and distinguished figure stood out. Beside him was a beautiful woman, likely another rising star in the entertainment industry. I'd seen her on TV but had no impression of her. The two were holding hands, leaning intimately against each other, and the woman occasionally helped him block drinks. I had done this many times before. Business required socializing, and with his complicated family background, no one was willing to help. Sam often drank excessively to secure deals. Once, when I went to pick him up, I found him squatting by the roadside, crying softly. When I helped him up, he wiped his tears and smiled at me. It's okay, I'm sure I'll get this deal. Then we can go to the Maldives for a vacation. You've always wanted to go, right? On the way back, he buried his head in my neck, whispering, wait a little longer. Soon, you can buy whatever you want, spend however you like. It's okay. I'm not someone who spends recklessly. Sam held my hand tightly, shaking his head. No, you should have what others have. My wife is a princess, deserving the best. As he spoke, I could feel the dampness on my shoulder and neck. Don't leave me. I can do it. Wait a little longer. I won't let you down. Sam wasn't good with alcohol. After these events, he would often vomit until dawn and sometimes develop a high fever the next day. I didn't want him to bear it alone, so I often accompanied him to block drinks. Looking back, it was foolish, sacrificing my health for someone unworthy. Sam held a glass of wine, wearing a flattering smile, but was interrupted and dismissed after just a few words. After several rejections, Sam's expression darkened. He didn't realize that with his current reputation, no one wanted to be associated with him. Mr. Zhu, long time no see. How have you been? Oh, Mr. Liu, sorry. I've taken some medicine tonight and can't drink. Enjoy your evening. The man's tone was perfunctory. He turned to me and his eyes lit up. Vicky, you're here too? I was just chatting with your father. I immediately stood and greeted him. Hello, Uncle Zhu. I wanted to find you, but I saw you were busy and didn't want to disturb. Sam stood nearby, glaring at me. After the man left, Sam hurried over, abandoning his companion. What were you talking about? Just catching up. He's a longtime friend of my dad. There's plenty to talk about. Sam seemed to forget that just because someone treated him nicely during business dealings didn't mean they were friends. Do you remember how old his child is? When is his birthday? What are his hobbies? I asked a few questions that left Sam speechless. You don't know. After all, I was the one helping you with gifts and maintaining connections. I remembered the birthdays of partners' wives, which children needed help with school, and who had family issues needing a listening ear. I mingled in their gatherings, securing deals over mahjong and tea, but Sam didn't seem to notice. Once, after I finally persuaded Mrs. Wang for a project collaboration, Sam accused me of not answering the phone to deliver a document. Do you know how important that document was? Mr. Wang was in a great mood. He might have signed it if I presented it. It's okay, I've already discussed it with Mrs. Wong. What's the use of discussing it with a woman? Can she sign on behalf of Mr. Wong? Don't mess up at critical moments and hold me back. I couldn't understand. If the document was so important, why not bring it when meeting Mr. Wong? And when did I become a burden? Sam thought sitting in the office meant controlling everything, forgetting who put him in that position. Do you think your uncles and cousins would stay quiet seeing you like this? After all, I knew better than anyone how he got to his position. Sam clenched his fists, his expression darkening. Victoria, you better behave and not think of forcing me to remarry using these tricks. Remarry? I recoiled in disgust, eager to distance myself from him. Sorry, but my mom always told me, a man isn't worth playing with twice. Chapter 6. When I left the gala, Sam's face was still cold, and the atmosphere around him was so oppressive that even the hotel's air conditioning couldn't compare. Although seeing him irritated me, I still attended the shareholders' meeting of Lu Group. The shares were a guarantee Sam gave my parents before we got married. He had knelt before them, swearing he would treat me well, but after we got married, he often complained to me about his lack of significant shares in the company and his lack of influence. He would subtly hint at wanting me to return the shares. I pretended not to understand and said I'd need to call my parents to ask their opinion. Sam didn't want my parents to know, and as his grandfather began trusting him more, his influence in the company grew, so the matter was dropped. When I walked into the meeting room, the other shareholders were surprised to see me. Sam's pretty secretary also had a cold expression. Oh, she was the last person who had provoked me. It seemed Sam's promise to fire her was only a temporary suspension. Now she's back again. It's only been a few days. She really can't wait. Let's see what you all have been up to recently. The company's stock price looks awful. Sam's uncle was the first to criticize me. After taking my seat, I smiled at him. What have I done? Do you have any evidence? No matter what, you shouldn't make your divorce public. We thought you had returned the shares. Since you also hold shares in Lu Group, you should think about the company. I stared at my nails, not even bothering to look up. I don't have many shares, so the losses aren't significant. After all, I wasn't short on money. If I was unhappy, I wouldn't let others be happy either. As soon as I finished speaking, the meeting room door opened, and Sam walked in, glaring at me coldly. There wasn't much to discuss at the shareholders' meeting. It was just a chance to beautify last year's results and outline this year's goals. According to my information, there will be several new development zones in the south of the city this year. We should focus our efforts there to get the biggest piece of the pie. The company should undergo reforms and stop standing still. Reactions were mixed. Some shareholders nearing retirement just wanted to preserve their money. Among the active shareholders, some were willing to take risks and supported reform, while others preferred to remain conservative. Of course, there was someone like me to stir the pot. I disagree. Sam glared at me. Why? No reason. I just disagree. The company's stock price keeps falling, and you still want to spend money on expansion. I'm afraid there won't be dividends at the end of the year. The room fell into hesitation. Sam's uncle spoke up again. What does it matter to you? You have no say in the company's affairs. You're not even part of the Lu family anymore. Yet you dare to speak out here. With that, the Lu shareholders began to echo his sentiments. Sam looked at me smugly. So, according to you, all non-Lu shareholders here are outsiders? Chapter 7. Although Lu Group was a family business, many had earned shares through exceptional abilities and years of hard work. Sam quickly realized I was trying to sow discord and immediately called the meeting to an end. Before leaving, he suddenly called out to me, Victoria, can't we divorce peacefully and part on good terms? I turned back and smiled at him. No. As I left the company, many of Sam's uncles and aunts glared at me. I guess they would love to put up a sign at the company gate, Victoria and dogs not allowed. The Lu family was too tightly bound, and it needed to rot from within. While thinking, I suddenly received a message. Why doesn't Tom want to talk to me lately? Help me figure it out. The message was brief and lacked any form of address. I didn't need to check the name to know who it was. Sam's arrogant sister, Belinda. Sam's parents died early, and his grandfather had many sons, even illegitimate ones. So, the siblings grew up neglected, relying on each other. With a strong bond, Belinda disliked me, always fearing I would steal her brother's love. However, my parents' entertainment company had an artist, Tom, whom she had been desperately pursuing. So Belinda had to tolerate me. We've divorced. Don't ask me about these things anymore. Belinda was a spoiled second-generation rich kid with nothing to do all day. She replied quickly, "Yeah, I saw the news online. It's just that a few of my brother's mistresses didn't behave and caused trouble for you. I must say, you played this withdrawal tactic well, using the divorce to make my brother compromise." Huh? A family of idiots. And they thought highly of themselves. I was about to toss my phone aside when another message came. "Stop being so dramatic. How about this? You arrange a meeting with Tom, and I'll speak well of you in front of my brother, okay?" Looking at her message, a thought suddenly crossed my mind. You're right. I have been dramatic. How about this? I'll personally apologize to your brother in front of your whole family. But don't tell him. I'll give him a surprise. Can you gather everyone? This was a small task for Belinda. I chose a hotel with the largest hall, complete with a stage and big screen. This way, my surprise would be meaningful. Sam found out about the event on the day itself. However, he didn't know the entire Liu family would be there. Now you know to apologize to me? I was too tired to argue and pushed him into the hall. Seeing his uncles, aunts, and other relatives, Sam frowned. What's wrong? Aren't you going to greet your family? You always find excuses to avoid the annual family gatherings, and I had to entertain them for you. Don't you recognize these relatives? I stood behind Sam, my breath brushing his neck. Victoria, what exactly are you up to? Nothing. I just want to help you maintain family relationships. Or are you feeling guilty? Chapter 8. The big screen started playing, and the first image made everyone gasp. It was a photo of Sam's second uncle being taken away by the police. Seeing her son arrested and imprisoned, Sam's grandmother began clutching her chest and gasping for breath. After Sam's father died, his second uncle had been the most likely candidate to inherit the Liu group. I wonder if your uncle ever realized, while in prison, that the nephew he trusted the most was the one who framed him? Holding the microphone, I slowly walked up to the stage. Sam, disregarding everything, rushed up to grab the microphone from me, but I had arranged for bodyguards today. Sam was pulled off the stage, forced to watch as I revealed his dirty deeds one by one. Sam's eldest uncle, who managed the company's finances so diligently, was unfortunately tricked by Sam with fraudulent contracts. I hope he's learning something useful in prison. And this younger uncle, it took quite a bit of effort for Sam to bring him down. I knew exactly how many schemes Sam had employed to climb to his current position. We met in college. At first, he told me about his struggles at home. I felt sorry for his miserable situation and helped him solidify his position. Later, I realized he had targeted my family's connections and influence from the beginning. After we got married, he thought he had everything under control and stopped pretending, revealing his true nature. He forgot how much I had done for him. As more evidence was presented, Sam went from struggling to looking increasingly pale. Today's gathering turned into a trial, but it wasn't just Sam on trial today. I found some other interesting things too. For instance, how the third uncle had cooperated with a business rival to steal a project from the eldest uncle, and so on, to gain more power within Liu Group. The seemingly harmonious family was full of backstabbing behind the scenes. Everyone knew this. But now I was putting it all out in the open for them to tear each other apart. I knew my husband lost a huge amount of money because of you. With the sound of a glass shattering, the third aunt rushed forward and started fighting with the eldest uncle. Insults flew, with most of them directed at Sam. The uncles and aunts watched you grow up. How could you do such things? This is unforgivable. Hearing this, Sam retorted, "Don't give me that. Everyone knows what happened to my parents and how you treated me." The crowd argued loudly, ignoring Sam's grandparents in the middle. His grandmother, especially, was clutching her chest, unable to speak. His grandfather was pounding his cane furiously, trying to restore order, but to no avail. Seeing my plan come to fruition, I left the hall satisfied. As I exited, Sam followed in the chaos. Victoria, this is all you're doing. Can't you stand to see me happy? Exactly. I answered him bluntly. After all, these plans for revenge had been festering in my heart for a long time. Collecting this evidence wasn't something I could do overnight. What do you want? To send us all to prison? I slowly stepped forward, reaching out to adjust Sam's disheveled tie, but he recoiled in fear. Seeing his reaction, I felt content. Why don't you guess? Suspicion and fear of the unknown are the true tormentors. Sam probably won't sleep well for a long time. Will he? Chapter 9. As expected, the next time I saw Sam was at another shareholders meeting. He had dark circles under his eyes, bloodshot eyes, and was discussing the South City development project with the shareholders. We should invest money in South City this year. Just bear with it for a year or two, and this project will definitely bring huge profits. This time, I didn't need to say a word. Someone else stood up and shook their head in refusal. First was the same uncle who had supported him last time. This means the company will have to invest a lot of money and tighten its belt for the next 2 years. And there's no guarantee we'll make a profit. Exactly. You're all alone. How would you understand our situation where we have to support our families? He climbed to his current position thanks to the Yi family connections. Mocking voices filled the conference room. Sam angrily pounded the table. Don't be deceived by Victoria. I know the Yi family also wants a large share of the South City development rights. She's doing this just to stop us from getting it. I sat in my chair, letting everyone direct their gaze at me, playing with the pen in my hand. I calmly said, whether you choose to play it safe or take a risk is up to you. The question is, can choosing adventure really turn a bicycle into a car? After all, I was just a minor shareholder without any real influence. These matters were for them to worry about. Once again, the meeting ended on a sour note. As I was leaving, Sam glared at me, his fists clenched tightly. Not long after, my parents called, saying that our company had been subject to frequent inspections recently. One day they inspect fire safety, the next day they check taxes. We can hardly keep up. Among the industries we invested in, media and real estate were the most profitable. With the recent strict inspections, my dad couldn't help but complain. Sam is probably behind this, trying to get back at us. Don't worry. Handle it cautiously. They won't be laughing for long. Recently, Belinda's harassing phone calls had become incessant. Last time she helped me gather the Liu family, and I turned their world upside down. As for Tom, I didn't contact him afterward. That's just how I am. When faced with strong opponents, I become stronger. When dealing with people without manners, I use different methods. I sent a message to Tom, and soon he replied with an okay. I looked forward to seeing the news online. 3 days later, a social news headline appeared. A woman assaulted someone at a bar, arrogantly claiming to be a rich second-generation kid. Without even clicking on the video, I saw Belinda's face. According to the police report, Belinda had arranged to meet someone at the bar. Before they arrived, she started drinking alone and ended up being stood up. Drunk and frustrated, Belinda got into a conflict with a staff member who brought her drinks. She smashed a bottle over the staff member's head, leading to a brawl that injured 3 staff members. On the day of the incident, I received a call from Sam. Do you have connections with the police? Can you help get Belinda out? I'll pay whatever you want. Chapter 10. Bribing public officials is illegal. Why would I do something like that for money? I'll give you whatever amount you want. Sam's voice on the other end of the line sounded desperate. It made sense, given that Belinda was his younger sister whom he had watched over since childhood. Belinda's arrogant and domineering attitude was entirely due to Sam's indulgence. Just tell me, what will it take for you to help Belinda? After all, she's called you sister-in-law for 3 years. Are you talking about the Belinda who never treated me well and almost ran me over with her car? There was silence on the other end of the line. I sat on the sofa and rolled up my pant leg, the scar on my right leg a constant reminder of what had happened. Why do you still hold on to that? I've told you, Belinda was drunk at the time, and the brakes failed. Did the brakes fail or not? You know best. If you want me to forgive her, maybe you should let me drive a car into her? Victoria, are you out of your mind? Sam cursed at me on the phone. It seemed he knew how dangerous it had been, but since the one injured wasn't someone he cared about, it didn't matter to him. Belinda had come home drunk and driven back. I was worried she might catch a cold stepping out into the night air and had waited at the door with a coat. I didn't expect Belinda to drive straight at me. I was seriously injured and had to use a wheelchair for 2 months. After the incident, Belinda claimed she was drunk and that the car had malfunctioned, causing the brakes to fail. She cried, saying she wanted to make it up to me, even taking a knife to her leg before Sam stopped her. The siblings cried together, while I lay in a hospital bed truly injured. Vicky, don't blame her. She was really scared. You see how guilty she feels. She didn't do it on purpose. We've relied on each other since we were young. She's just a little dependent on me. You grew up in a harmonious family with no siblings, so you wouldn't understand. Sam pleaded with me, while Belinda sobbed beside him. Sister-in-law, don't be angry. If you don't like me, I can leave, can't I? Soon, Belinda bought a ticket to the U.S., and Sam, worried about her, made an excuse about work and went with her. While I recovered, Belinda enjoyed a vacation in the U.S. During rehab, my leg hurt like hell, and I called Sam. At first, he comforted me, but after a few days, he became irritated. Every call ended quickly with excuses about being busy. Yet, I could see him in the background of Belinda's vacation photos. Half a year ago, I found the insurance claims and repair records for the car. The brakes had been in perfect condition. Belinda had done it on purpose. The repairs and claims were handled by Sam, who had sided with his sister from the beginning. Don't worry. I'll make sure the car's brakes are working. I'm a good driver. Belinda won't die. Maybe just spend a few months in bed. Do you have no conscience? Bitch. I can save Belinda without you. Of course. He could, by paying a hefty compensation to the injured staff and begging them not to press charges. Worried about his sister suffering in jail, Sam agreed to pay whatever they demanded. In less than 3 days, Belinda was out and back at the bar. She was a regular at nightclubs, never stingy with her spending. When a friend texted me about it, I was lying in the bathtub with a face mask on, reading a message from Sam. He wanted to talk about buying my shares. He still hadn't given up on the South City project. With differing opinions among the shareholders, he thought buying out others was the best solution. Do you even have the money to buy shares? The South City project will require a huge investment. Don't worry about that. Seeing his response, I didn't hesitate and named my price. If you're okay with this, I'll sign the contract immediately. Those shares would soon be worthless anyway. I exited the chat with Sam and opened my friend's message. Belinda is here, along with that guy from your company, Tom. They're in a private room, drinking. I watched the video of Belinda drinking heavily and smiled. Put their tab on me. Make sure she gets the best drinks. Let her enjoy herself. After all, she wouldn't have this kind of opportunity again. Chapter 11. Sam quickly agreed to my terms but still held out hope during the signing. Can I pay in installments? I gave him a disdainful look. Mr. Liu, hesitating even to pay? Could it be that your cash flow is tight? With the shareholders' disapproval, needing to buy shares to smooth relationships, and just having spent money to get Belinda out, it's likely his cash reserves were already stretched thin. Don't worry about it. I'm determined to get the South City project. Sam, having achieved his goal, left immediately, not wanting to stay even a second longer. We had truly torn off all pretenses. I continued waiting in the private room. 20 minutes later, the door opened, and Tom walked in, handing me a USB drive. That woman got drunk and spilled everything. I just flattered her a bit, and she confessed it all. Well done. From now on, you're the top star in the company, with first pick of all resources. Tom looked pleased. It's my duty. Thank you, Miss Yi, for helping me and supporting my career. Holding the USB drive, I suppressed my excitement. Every time shares are transferred, the company makes a public announcement. Watching Sam aggressively acquire shares, I calculated his cash flow. His wallet was more substantial than I had imagined. Too substantial. In fact, after acquiring his younger uncle's shares, Sam became the second most influential person in the company. just behind old Mr. Lou. I released the recordings and videos. In the video, a drunken Belinda boasted, "So what if I hurt a few people? What's the big deal? I even dared to drive my car into Victoria, and she didn't dare to say a word afterward. As for those waiters, what if I beat them to death? My brother has money, and we have people covering for us. Secretary Zhang even came to our house for dinner. I'm not afraid of those poor fools. So what if I hit them?" Belinda's brazen words were all laid bare. I didn't mind making it public. Once it was out, the internet exploded. People started digging into the Liu family's connections, flooding official channels with demands for a thorough investigation. Sam's carefully built network was exposed and dismantled. Belinda's name became infamous. Former classmates came forward, accusing her of past malicious assaults that went unpunished. Her misdeeds were revealed one by one. I wondered if Sam would still have the money to bail his sister out this time. Even if he did, who would dare accept it? Belinda was taken away by the police for investigation while still drunk in a bar, mumbling about needing her brother. On the day of the South City project bidding, I didn't see Sam. The Liu family was now like a bomb waiting to go off. Anyone associating with them risked getting caught in the explosion. So whether Sam attended the bidding or not didn't matter. My father easily secured the most critical project and praised me all the way back. "This was all thanks to you, Vicky. You effortlessly brought down our competitor." I looked at the collapsing stock price of Liu Group and couldn't help but shake my head. The market value was evaporating too slowly. It wasn't enough. The fire isn't big enough yet. It needs more fuel. Chapter 12. The firewood came quickly. Since Sam started aggressively buying shares, I had sensed something was off. After all, we were married. If I didn't know how much money he had, that would be a failure on my part. To ensure he had enough cash flow, Sam had borrowed money. He was confident that the South City project would pay off. And the lenders, trusting the power of the Liu family, lent him the money without hesitation. But now, seeing Sam's sister go to jail and the officials who once protected the Liu family backing away, the Liu family in turmoil, these people were finally panicking. Every day, countless people showed up at the company demanding to see Sam and asking for their money back. Eventually, the company's employees noticed the trouble and began leaving in droves. Even my company received numerous resumes from Liu Group employees looking to jump ship. Sam, overwhelmed, finally remembered my part in all this and showed up at my door, cursing me. "After all we've been through, I never thought you could be this despicable." I looked him up and down, unable to stop smiling. "Mr. Liu, why so shabby now? Where are your sports cars and luxury watches? Did you pawn them all?" Sam clenched his fists, gritting his teeth. "Don't be so smug. I haven't hit rock bottom yet." "Well, I look forward to your comeback. We're holding a groundbreaking ceremony for the South City project. You're welcome to attend." I handed him an invitation, but he tossed it in the trash. However, on the day of the ceremony, he still showed up, dressed in a designer suit, looking as if nothing had happened. An assistant came to report to me. I heard old Mr. Liu stepped in, took control, and paid off the debts. I wasn't surprised. After all, the old man couldn't watch his life's work fall apart, and Sam was the most promising among the younger generation. Too bad the old man would have to find someone else now. Just as Sam was proudly boasting, a few police officers appeared behind him. "Mr. Liu, we've received a report that you colluded with gangsters to harm others. Please come with us." "What nonsense are you talking about? I don't understand." Facing the media, Sam tried to avoid them, his eyes shooting daggers at me. "What madness is this? What do you mean by calling the police?" I shrugged innocently. "I didn't report it." "I did." A figure slowly emerged from the crowd, and Sam's eyes widened in disbelief. A frail-looking Diana stepped forward. "I reported it. I'm accusing Sam of hiring gangsters to harm me, causing my miscarriage. He killed our child." "That's bullshit. You slut. You cheated on me." "I did not." I couldn't help but chuckle and softly asked Sam, "Did you really get yourself checked at the hospital?" "Probably not, right?" A proud man like Sam couldn't bear the doctor telling him he was infertile. "And do you know why I went to the hospital that day?" "What do you mean?" Sam stiffened, staring at me. I didn't answer, just placed my hand gently on my abdomen, giving him a meaningful smile. Sam erupted in rage, lunging at me, but the police held him back, dragging him away as he screamed, "What do you mean? Tell me clearly." I touched my abdomen, my smile fading, recalling the doctor's words, "Your body has recovered well. But don't be careless. After all, your previous miscarriage was due to external force. Your body needs proper recovery." I did go to the hospital to check my health, to assess the damage caused by the miscarriage. I had eagerly awaited the arrival of that child. Our child. I hadn't told Sam the good news before seeing the photos of him and the beautiful pianist in Paris. Angrily, I confronted him, which turned into a fight, even becoming physical. He slapped me, calling me unreasonable. "Look at yourself now. You disgust me. Do you remember how you used to be?" But my words couldn't evoke his conscience, only bringing out his ugly side. Of course I remember. I'll remember forever. How I had to grovel and endure. Everything I have today is because of my efforts. Not thanks to you. You delusional woman. The beautiful past I thought we had was a lie. In truth, Sam never liked me. Every day with me disgusted him. Angry, I lunged at him, but he pushed me away. He pushed me down the stairs, and I fell, my whole body in pain. "Stay out of my business." He looked down at me, full of disdain and contempt, in pain and barely conscious. I raised my hand. "It hurts, my stomach. Take me to the hospital." "Enough. Stop pretending. You really disgust me." He ignored me and left. As the door closed, my heart sank. Our youthful love was ultimately just my own delusion. How could I relieve my past suffering without making him feel the same pain and despair? By the time I reached the hospital, it was too late to save the baby. Sam abandoned me and went to the Maldives with another woman. I stayed in the hospital, recuperating alone. I told no one, only the doctor and I knew about the baby. But I would make sure Sam knew he had killed his own child. I would ensure his life was filled with regret, doubt, and anger. But that wasn't enough. Wealth and power can numb the pain. So, I wouldn't let him have any material comfort. A heartless man doesn't deserve forgiveness. This was the price he should pay.